going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video we have a pretty quick one for you, but another requested video, which is going to be sliders for Madden 25 specifically. Just to jump right into it here for you guys, we are playing on all Madden skill level on Madden this year. 7-minute quarters, 25-second minimum play clock time, 2 offensive play call cooldown, and 5 offensive play call limit, 0 on defensive cooldown and limit. And we actually were playing with dynamic momentum / home field advantage on this year. We toyed with it kind of both ways, and we also toyed with it both ways with superstar abilities. Again, that's just very preference to you guys. I think the most realistic experience is to turn both dynamic momentum off as well as superstar abilities off. And as far as the actual sliders go for player skill, we have quarterback accuracy at 52, pass blocking at 60, wide receiver catching at 52, run blocking at 52, ball security all the way up to 65. Remember, they renamed this slider this year from fumble slider. It is still labeled the fumble slider on College Football 25, and it works the exact same way. If you turn this up, you get improved ball security and less fumbles. Pass defense reaction time set to 53, interceptions at 35, pass coverage at 52, and tackling at 65. For the CPU side of things, we have quarterback accuracy at 48, pass blocking at 45, 50 wide receiver catching, 50 run blocking, 55 ball security, 45 pass defensive reaction time, 15 interceptions, 46 pass coverage, and 50 tackling. Keep in mind that if you are having issues with pursuit angles, tackling capability, and general defensive capability whenever they're trying to track down a ball carrier, you can turn up tackling a good bit, and it helps to improve with those things within both Madden and College Football 25. As you can see, we have tackling up for the user. We just hadn't had it turned up for the CPU. In this league, we were just testing a few different things, but I would recommend you go up on tackling for both if you want to try to see a difference in gameplay defensively. Field goal power 50, accuracy 50, punt power, punt accuracy 50, and kickoff power at 52. Injuries set to 40, fatigue set to 65. You could even raise this up to 70 or 75 to get really good results, and minimum player speed threshold set to 55. We are actually playing with different penalty sliders. They seem to work a little bit better in Madden than they do in college football based on the latest patches, though you could take these down to base if you need to. Offsides 65, false start 55, holding 45, face mask 40, defensive pass interference on 35. Everything else is set to base except for the last 3, which we turn off in every league, which is going to be roughing the kicker, running into the kicker, and illegal contact. And finally, we have the XP sliders and progression regression sliders, which are very valuable to you within Madden 25 franchise mode. For offensive progression XP rate, we have 120 for quarterbacks, 140 for running backs, 170 for tight ends, 120 for receivers, 200 for fullbacks, 160 for tackles, guards, and centers. On the defensive side of the ball, 120 for defensive ends, 160 for defensive tackles, 150 for middle backers, 130 for outside backers, 160 for corners, 130 for free safeties and strong safeties. Kickers all the way up to 180, and punters up to 190. As far as age progression XP rate, we have faster experience, 150 for 20, 140 for 21 years old, 130 for 22, 120 for 23, and 110 for 24 years old. As you can see, really high progression rate early within a player's career, and then obviously falling off quite a bit after they turn 30 years old, 90, 80, 70, 60, and ending at 50% for 35-plus-year-old players. As far as regression ratings are concerned, we have quarterbacks turned down to 50, so they regress a lot slower. Running backs turned up the most to 150, so that they regress the fastest, which is true to real life. Tight ends to 110, wide receivers to 130, 110 for fullbacks, 120 for the entire offensive line. You'll notice that we've turned up pretty much every position because players just simply don't regress out quickly enough within Madden. It's too easy to keep a high overall team for too long. just simply based on the way the regression currently works within the game. So you do have to turn it up a little bit to get a little bit more of a realistic result. And running backs and receivers, those skill positions, tend to age out the quickest because generally of their athletic skill set being what dictates a large portion of their capabilities. Defensively, 110 for D ends, 130 for D tackles, 130 for middle backers and outside backers, and 150 for everybody in the secondary. Special teams regression rate at 120 for both kickers and punters because they all tend to stick around entirely too long. And then age regression rate, we start to turn up at the age of 30, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, and we turn it all the way up to 200 for 35-plus-year-old players. So the players tend to regress quicker as they get older, especially after they hit the age of 30, which is kind of appropriate. Not a whole lot of players stick around too long after that age, and if they do, they're generally going to be an X Factor player. If they keep that X Factor, they're not going to regress very hard to begin with. And so that's everything for you in today's video. Hopefully you found these sliders useful in some way. If you did, leave a comment down below and let me know what you guys are doing on Madden 25 this year. Obviously, my content's been dominated by College Football 25. That's the game that I generally prefer to play, but I'm not against creating videos on Madden here for you guys as needed. With that being said, leave that feedback down below. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. As always, I'll see you in the next video, and I hope you have a good one.